Okay, so we've been videoing right at a year now, outdoor to the core, and we kind of just wanted to introduce ourselves and kind of tell you how this all started and why we're doing it and stuff, so you have a little idea who's the main guys in the videos. So anyways, I'm Bradley Dammerman. I was born in 1982. So that makes me 20. I'll let you guys do the math.
I'm not been real good at that.
So, anyway.
I'm Tyrell Funk. Bradley come up to me actually almost exactly a year ago, and that's when we discussed starting this outdoor to the core. It's been fun.
I'm David Carr. I grew up here local, like these guys did too, and been hunting ever since I was a kid. And I've guided for Bradley here for
Since I started.
Yeah.
9-10 years.
However many years ago that's been. So.
Can you believe that?
Yep.
Man,
time flies. Time flies. Yeah.
Bradley and I, we've been best friends and hunted since long time ago.
Just probably in junior high even, I think is when we first started.
Whenever we bought our first camera 11 years ago, we had big hopes and dreams of doing this, and I don't know why we didn't stick with it, but we had a few hunts and then we just never stuck with it.
Yeah, we should have kept videoing then, but the way we look at it, it's never too late to jump into something.
Never too late.
Even if you're getting kind of old.
Some of us might have just had a 40th birthday. I don't want to mention names.
I videoed quite a bit back in the day with an old Panasonic with an old tape in there, and not very good quality, but it was fun getting out there and videoing the bulls bugling and all that good stuff. And videoed quite a few hunts actually, and yeah, it was fun. So it's exciting doing this, and for me, once when a hunt is filmed and everything, then you can go back and it's like you were there. It's you just relive it. It's unreal, and you get the adrenaline rush again and everything. So, and then you can show your family and friends and just share it with other people, the experiences and everything. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I agree. It's I have more respect for people that are videoing now than I ever did before.
Absolutely.
There is way more work, time. Not only are you trying to capture everything on video and you have extra weight and extra gear in the pack, you're getting home, maybe want to hang out with the kids and stuff, but no, you got to edit a movie, and that's we're getting better on that. And yeah, your wife's like, "What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Get your butt over here."
I get that a lot.
I got a list of things for you to do.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, no, I'm just kind of joking, but it is. It's a lot to do it, and I think we're learning constantly. We're kind of way behind everybody else, and we've gotten the pleasures to hunt with Dirk Durham and Jason Phelps and stuff like that, and they've kind of taught us tricks on the way and helping us out, and so we're trying to gather information as we go and try to speed this up, because we are, like I said, we're getting a little bit older. So hopefully this year our videos will get better, and hopefully we'll get more followers and people kind of dialed in on our hunting shows, and we're proud of them. We're proud, and we're happy to show them. We want everybody to enjoy them. So we're going to be constantly trying to get better at it.
Absolutely. I can't thank people like Jade, owner of Full Draw Film Tour. He's been incredible. I don't know how many times I've texted him, and he's really helped me out, and just kind of helping us. Like I said, Bradley said, we're new to this filming and editing, and it's awesome when you got people like that we can call, and they really help us out a lot.
Editing is probably one of the main things, because none of us are very computer savvy. So,
I did graduate from high school, but I think that's because they didn't want me back.
I took the GED, and that was the homeschooler's way of graduating, and that was extremely easy. No problem. I even passed the arts and literature, but anyway, whatever that was, I was flipping corners, putting answers. I don't know who drew such a picture. So.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So I grew up for, I think, 14 years I logged. I'm an outfitter now, so that was so I could hunt more, but we're just blue-collar workers, you know. I logged, like I said, for 14 years, hooked under a line machine. We're just your average Joe Blow people.
We're not sponsored or nothing.
We're not sponsored, nothing.
Work, save up.
Dave here gets to do the concrete, and so he's always in concrete. I don't know if any of you guys know, but that's hard work.
He can have it.
Yeah, that's why he's so tough. That's why he can hike. But well, wind Tyrell works, which is like once a week.
Try not to. There's nothing fishing anyway. I mean, come on.
He's an electrician, which, by the way, I think I still have a couple lights and stuff I need you to hook up.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to pencil you in.
So, anyway, so yeah, we're just your average people, and so that's always good. I like, I know when I'm watching YouTube, I don't want it too commercialized. I don't like, big ranch hunts or anything like that. I don't have nothing against them. It's just not for me.
Not for us.
We're hunting public ground. That's another thing. I mean, we're dealing with people. 99% of the time, we're hunting public ground. I did do a turkey hunt here in my field just because I had turkeys out here. So I have done a few private ground hunts, but 90% of them are almost all the elk, all the hound hunts, all that, the deer and stuff are all on public ground. And I mean, when I say public ground, I'm talking over the counter tags where you can just come and buy. Although your elk hunt last year was a draw.
Yeah,
Still
but
people everywhere.
We ran into people, small unit.
Small unit, people everywhere.
But that was once in 14 years for me that I had a special tag.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So they don't come easy.
Typically, yeah, last year was kind of my year to, typically I'm taking a lot of people out, and last year I got drawn for those 2 special tags, and it was kind of my year to enjoy life.
Till 6 point?
Yeah.
6 by 7? 6 by 7? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That hunt was really special, we've all hunted, here and there and together and whatnot, but, that was our first actual filmed hunt together, and that was, everything just panned out awesome. That was a really cool hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that the kill was meant to be. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better, and, Bradley on his tag, later on we hunted the miles we put on, and
Just to watch me miss.
Hey, it was fun being out there.
What can I say? I'm not ashamed of it.
A rifle.
Rifle, I might have been able to hit something.
Once you find an elk with a rifle, it's usually going down, and muzzleloader and archery, we all know is a totally different ballgame, especially here where you can't have scopes or sabos or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but it was a heck of a time down there. I mean, just being in that country, the high country, trying to get oxygen. It was
Trying to keep up with you.
Hunting.
Oh,
My favorite.
No, not whatever.
My favorite part about that hunt I actually had shoulder surgery, and I couldn't pack. It was just pretty. It was pretty convenient.
Probably got another surgery lined up. It is about September, huh?
Yep. Yep. So these poor guys had to do all the packing. Broke my heart.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that because one of the most satisfying parts of the hunt is getting back to the pickup and getting your pack off, and you feel like an angel. You feel like you can jump 100 feet up in the air, and just the reflecting on everything, the satisfaction that you were successful, and then it goes all the way to the table for sure, and the meat's out now. You can get it on ice and everything. I don't know. I just love that feeling.
Absolutely.
Getting it to the truck and breathing a sigh of relief.
The hunt for me is not just pulling the trigger or hitting the release. It's from getting up in the morning to all the way to throwing it on the dinner table. I mean, it's
And scouting for me is a big one.
Everything.
I love the scouting part. Scouting is most of the hunt. for me, because once you figure out the animal, once you know what's in the area, you know where they are.
So important.
You can get right to it. I mean, you can get right to it, and it doesn't always, you know, you're not always immediately successful or
No.
anything, but at least you're into the elk right away, into the deer right away, whatever. And, you know, with the mule deer hunt that we got drawn for, it was in a new area, and Jed and I had spent, I don't know how many days, I think it was like 3 days before the season scouting, and we scouted a ton of these 2 different units. I mean, hiked and hiked, and we could not find, it was later on in the hunt before we found the deer. And that just goes to show you, you know, that even more scouting would have helped us out, because we only had X amount of time at the end of it by the time we found the deer. So it's always rewarding to put your time in before, I think, and, you know, and then the hunt is usually a lot more successful and quicker that way. You're having more fun, you're into the elk.
Absolutely.
So,
100%
but
agree on that. For me, the favorite on Dave's elk hunt, my favorite part of it was that we got back to the truck. Dave took us to the nearest restaurant.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think the town had like, what, 20 people in it? And he bought us a steak. that was my favorite part of the
Absolutely,
hunt.
absolutely.
I was gonna say that once the meat's in the back of the truck, the mind immediately shifts to food, good food.
Absolutely.
No,
That was just a fun.
it was
great
great.
time.
And actually, I was joking there, but to Dave, like I said, has been work guiding for me as long as right when I started the business. It was me and him, and couldn't have done it without him. I mean, there's no way. Looking back, no way. But to watch him, you know, I know he's been guiding and 9 days, and he always lets people shoot first. He's one of those guys that's not greedy. He's always taking a kid hunting. He's always taking somebody hunting, you know, and he's never really getting to pull the trigger a lot. So when he killed that nice 6x7 bull, it was just, I was so happy for him. It really was. Yep. Yeah. Well,
You were very adamant that Dave was shooting first. I don't care
Yeah.
what we see.
We got into it a couple times.
He was trying
not
to make
like
me-
not knock down, drag out.
Well,
we
that's a
just
good thing.
we discussed it a few times, and Bradley said absolutely not. You're going first, and
Yeah.
I had to go to Arizona. I had 2 days to hunt, and then I was headed to Arizona.
well, and you're the one that did all the scouting, and you're the one that did.
Yeah, but that's
you
what I
know,
typically do.
Walk
anyways,
this
but
completely
thanks,
straight
thanks
into
for
the
letting me
dirt.
go first.
No.
Walked us completely straight into the
Yeah.
dirt several times.
Yeah.
It was a couple
Dave
days
can
that
hike.
were really rough.
Well, we show up there, Bradley and I, Dave's been there for 2 days, and we show up there, and Dave just looks at us, he's like, hey, grab your stuff, we're gonna run up on this little tiny hill and do some scouting. All right, you know, we don't take nothing with us.
Do we need a backpack or anything?
No,
like that?
no, just a little tiny hill. So, yeah, all right, so we jump out, we don't bring water, we don't bring granola bar, we don't bring nothing. And what did we climb? We climbed like almost 2,000 feet elevation.
I don't know, but it
was
whipped
just
me.
a little-
It whipped me because it was right off the bat. I
Oh,
just got there and I
Just
wasn't
got
used
out
to
of the
there.
pickup and, oh man, yeah, we're like,
Wow.
babe, just give us a little bit of warning next time, bud.
I think you did it deliberately.
I think so, too.
I think it was 2 days after that though, when we hiked up in that other drainage
Oh,
where
man.
we ended up hunting.
Oh.
That was, you know, and
When we went back to.
Then we went back to,
Me
so
and
we
Claude-
hiked up into the first,
A
the
couple weeks
first,
later.
yeah, the first drainage, yep, we hunted that later. That first drainage where I shot my bull, we hiked up across the other side, way up into there, then hiked clear out, then that afternoon we hiked up, well, we started about 11:30 or noon probably,
Mhm.
hiking up and just nonstop up,
We didn't get,
that was way up there, and then we spotted a bull clear on the other side, and, I mean, we didn't even think we could make it over there.
No.
we didn't
And-
think any chance.
And then I had this weird, I'm like, let's try, or somebody's like, let's go. And, oh, we made it over there in time, but oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No. When we get back to the pickup, like, it was pushing
I don't
11
even know.
o'clock, midnight. Oh.
I don't even know. You had to keep your legs straight or they'd cramp up.
Oh, that was
I
another.
mean,
So many close calls up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
A lot of video that we did that we never even used, you know, but that's how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was. So how many hunts do we? Or how many videos do we have out right now? 30.
39, I thought it was
something.
39.
Oh,
I don't know.
32.
It's in the 30s. I thought it was 37, 39.
Mhm. Obviously, I hunt with hounds, and so a lot of them never got video, but I did video some hound hunts. But you know, I'm hunting a lot, and the bear hunt hounds are kind of tough, so I'm still working on that. I'd like to get some really good videos of that though. But anyways, so out of those 30 videos or 32 or whatever it is, I'd say Dave's and Colton's elk, your nephews, were probably, they're both elk hunts, but they were probably my favorites that we made last year. You had some pretty wicked bear hunts, so those were cool.
Yeah,
You're getting good.
Yeah.
And tough hunt, that where you're hunting there is not for the weak.
No.
Well, that's why we're in there, but yeah. Yeah. And that's why I show some of the country, because if somebody hikes that far to get into some of those spots, they can have at it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you know, the harder you work, the more rewarding it is. And my favorite hunt was the Coos deer hunt, and obviously with my dad shooting that buck and everything, and you know, I was hunting with Dad the first morning, and we go down, we set up, I glassed up a bunch of does across from us, and there's this buck there, and you know, decent little 3-point, 4-point, whatever, it's still getting light a little bit, and he gets set up on it, and he ended up missing the thing. We figured out his gun was way off later, but he missed the thing, and your heart just sinks, you know. I mean, this is where my dad grew up, down there, and he hunted that and everything. He's got a lot of history behind, you know, that area and everything. So your heart sinks, and then I run up to my brother for a bit and came back down. As soon as I got back down, that 4-point that my cousin Joey shot come up over the hill, and I wanted Dad to shoot it, you know, so bad, you know, and Dad, there's no way Dad's gonna shoot it. He's gonna let Joey shoot it. So, and then Andy got one, and Sam got one, and we all were rooting for Dad to get one. All were just going for it, and we ended up making a big loop around. He had Andy's gun because we had gone out and visited the relatives for a while, and so we made a big loop around and ended up finding his buck, and when the shot rang out and the way the deer fell, I knew it wasn't going to get back up again. You can't explain the feeling, you know. I mean,
sounds tough. That gave me chills.
It's, you know, to watch your dad be able to do that. You know, he gave up hunting and raised us kids. Was totally devoted to us, and then we can return the favor a little bit.
And raise yours. That sounds easy. How many is there?
Well, I got 9 siblings.
So he raised 10 of you.
Yeah.
So when he's saying that,
it was a feat, but that was special to me, obviously, and always will be. I usually pretty chattery after the shot, and I was just soaking it up. So
beautiful.
But that's, you know, there's to me, hunting, a lot of hunting is about the kill. That's the goal. That's the motive. That's why you're there, is to try to harvest an animal. But there's other things that go with it too, you know, and you can enjoy the hunt either way, you know, no matter what happens. And so, anyways, that was fun.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I love watching that one too.
So I'd just say my favorite hunt was a special one to me. It was our very first hunt. It turned out good. You can just tell the difference between our first hunt and our last hunt. You know, we're learning, and I'm sure 20 videos from here will say the same thing. You know, we are learning, but that hunt was pretty special to me. My brother-in-law, him and I and Bradley archery hunted all the time together, and he passed a couple years ago from ALS, and his kids, they hunted, but they weren't diehard into it, and my nephew, we called in a bull for him, and I think we got him hooked. That's all he's talking about. He's out shooting his bow every day now, and
attaboy.
It's just, you got to get that one kill underneath.
All our elk.
What's that?
There goes all our elk.
Yeah.
Competition.
But that was just because I archery hunted with him, and we turned that video into a tribute for him because he loved to get out there and go hunting with us and archery hunt, and he didn't even actually care if he carried a bow. He just wanted to be out there. So that was a really special hunt to me. Just, you know, doing it for him and being out there with my nephew, and it was awesome.
It was. I mean, that hunt to me, it was so special to be a part of that hunt.
Oh, I can't.
I watched them kids grow up, and I knew their dad well, and Tyrell stepped up and is helping out a lot with that. But it was a special hunt. I mean, it dang near brought tears to my eyes. It was really cool. It was a small 4-point or whatever it was. I don't even remember. It might have been a 5-point. But
Yeah.
does that really matter? You know,
No,
I mean,
no.
it's public ground. Again, people everywhere. Not easy elk to kill. It might only be a 4-point, but it might be a lot smarter than most.
Oh,
Any elk on public ground.
Any elk
Yeah,
here,
on
public ground. I mean,
is a trophy in my mind.
Absolutely.
And so size don't really matter on that. It was just,
No.
and it was our first kill shot. Man,
Was.
With elk, anyways,
Yeah.
on the film, and that was like we were excited.
We called in that
Holy
one
smokes, we
monster.
actually pulled it off.
we called that one monster in the day before.
Yeah.
We got a little footage of him. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was our first actual kill shot.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and then we had the miss.
Well, let's not talk about that.
forgot
I
about
knew
that.
that was gonna come.
It's been a year. It's been a year.
I was trying to like veer around that. I mean, yeah.
30 yards broadside, leg out forward.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to. I have no idea. I'm so glad I'm done with that crossbow. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But,
Yeah.
Another hunt I really enjoyed was the mule deer hunt. It was so hard and challenging. I've been on a lot of rough hunts where you've breaking pack frames for, packing elk out for days, and this mule deer hunt kicked my hiney. And when we finally, muzzleloader once again, if I had a rifle, it'd be over.
that was different than a
But,
rifle.
the wind is just swirling in that country like none other, but all the work that the days, I mean, I can't remember, I think we had 9 days of hunting
Jeez.
and finally getting one. It ain't a very big one, but that was special to me because all
Yeah.
the work into it and everything. And
Well, you
I shot him clear back, so far back in there. We ended up finding another road that we got fairly close to, and then I was able to bring the goats in from there, but it was a ways back in there. It was rough, but that's what makes it fun. And it's not the size, a 4-point bull elk, it doesn't, the size don't matter.
Nope.
It's what's behind it and what you've got into it and what it means to everyone, so.
absolutely. So yeah, that was a cool hunt, and that great big monster that you seen with the snow and you walked that day.
Oh yeah.
I think Dave was like, I can't make it hunting in the morning, man. I'm clear up here. I don't even know if I might have to spend the night. You must have had phone service somehow.
I had a little bit, I was down to like a couple % bar,
And,
or a couple.
I think you ended up getting out of there and making it hunting still.
I made it
You
out of
were-
there.
You were whipping. You were
I'd
whipped.
cramp up solid for close to an hour, and if you bent your legs at all, you just kind of walking just stiff-legged, and then it'd get better a little bit, and I had to hit up the creek so many times because just sweating like crazy. But yeah, it was. I hiked up over the mountain and dumped down in a drainage. I wasn't familiar with that area, and I kind of bit off a lot. And I thought the main road that we had parked on, where you dropped us off that one day and we hiked up over, I thought that road kept going. No. It was deadfall. I ended up crossing that drainage. I was going across rock slides. It was miserable. And then I slid down the hill and I remember bashing my leg up against a tree. And then I seen light, and I forgot my flashlight was in my pocket. After that, I'd go in the dark, at the timber and everything. I'd go in the dark as much as I could. When I got on those hillsides, though, I'd turn my light on. And when I found the road, I'd never been to the end of that road there, and I parked like within a quarter mile of the end. I was just like frustrated. I wish I knew that road didn't, stopped right there, but.
No, that was awesome. You worked your butt off for that one, and if it made Dave cramp,
Yeah.
it'd have killed me, I think.
So what's your favorite hunt?
Well, actually, real quick, while we're on the subject, I was thinking, Dave brought up his goats.
Oh.
So what do you think about the goats? Are they a waste of time and money? Are you loving it, or a lot of work, or what?
Well, they're a lot of work. Like it's probably like dogs to you, all the training and stuff like that. The one thing with the goats that's a little rough on me is like I can out hike them, so like waiting for them, but then I'm light. They've got the whole load, and so I just got to pace myself coming out of there and everything. But and I've got a ways to go. I've never, nobody's really mentoring me in this area. I built my own saddles, made my own panniers, everything like that.
Cool.
And so, but I'm hoping to go on a hunt in some really, really remote country this fall for mule deer, and I'll be bringing them with me. Hopefully.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
and yeah, we may not make it. You know, I think about 10, 12 miles a day is probably all they're gonna go.
Mhm.
But
So they wear down kind of fast, you're saying, or
yeah, they only go so far. You know, especially if they're loaded up.
how do you know they're done? Do
So-
they just get
they will
bull-headed?
just lay down flat. I mean,
They're just done.
they are done, and you can tell they're hurting before that, and you can, you know, you want to be respectful of them and everything, but when they're done, they just lay down, and that's where you just gotta leave them, and if you want to keep going, you just keep going. But it is weird not packing out an animal. I mean, like having it on the go. It's so weird.
You can almost get used to it.
Well, the older I get, the nicer it is. The nicer it is. I mean, everything we've packed out on our backs. I mean, we never get a critter out whole. And I debone them. I am not packing bones out that I'm going to throw on the fire pit later. You know, I debone the whole thing, and I like to cut up the meat fairly quick. I don't necessarily age it or anything. Everybody has their ways to do it. I like to cut it up fairly quick so you don't have
Trim as much?
Yeah, you don't have the waste. And so if you debone and leave it for a while, you do have more waste trimming it and everything. And so I try to cut
On
it
the
up.
deboning,
Yeah, cut it up quite a bit. But in some of the places that I go back into, sometimes it's not possible to pack all the bones out and everything like that. You're just trying to survive. I mean, and get out of there. And sometimes you're in it's all you can do to get out of bed for the next 2 days to get to the bathroom. You're just a hurting unit. But that's what it's about is going hard. So
Yeah. Kind of another thing I wanted to talk about. What, Dave, if you had, I know you love to hunt and you're going to hunt. There's a hunting season, but what is your favorite animal to hunt here, where we're lucky to?
yeah, like right here, local.
Local or anywhere?
Anywhere,
I guess.
just
in America.
I think the top would be lions, as far as
Dog.
not necessarily with dogs, but like tracking them down on foot. I've done that a couple times, and that's just a rush like none other. And then antelope right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Archery antelope. And I don't sit at water holes or
You're spotting and stalking.
I can't. Yeah, I just.
Dave ain't gonna hold still.
None of us are
we
gonna
can't-
sit still.
We
Neither-
can't
neither one
sit
of us.
very long, and so it's all
You're not
spot
looking
and
at
stalk.
the setters here.
Yeah, you're not looking at
Setters
any
here.
setters right here.
And the time that you put into, I mean, so many close calls, and
Disappoint, ups and downs.
I hunted pretty rolling country, and 11 more days of work, and I get to go.
Cheers.
And I get to go. So
So
hopefully I'll
looking
get
forward
some.
to that.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get some good footage for you guys, and
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. I'll hit it with everything I've got. So, but yeah, probably antelope archery would be my favorite.
Nice.
Other than
Love
that,
it.
So.
Tyrell?
Mine's a no-brainer. Mine's archery elk.
You got the kill.
I live and breathe it. Yeah, I absolutely love archery elk. There's nothing like having a bull screaming it. My first bull I ever shot with a bow was 3 yards, and he was bugling when I stuck him.
I remember, that's a great story.
It's just a rush like no other. And then a lot of that is hunting with Bradley. I mean, we've archery hunted how many? I mean, it slowed down a lot actually once he got his business.
25 years at least.
At least, yeah,
If not longer,
at least.
you know,
But it slowed down. I mean, it was every day, every single day. We'd get off work, we'd come home, put our gear on, go archery hunting. Bradley's business now, we obviously don't do it as much as we'd like together, but no, we got a couple hunts this year planned with each other, and yeah, just archery hunting is just, there's nothing like it to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
A bow. There's something about close and personal with a bow, and watching that arrow just going down range. I just love it.
Yeah.
It's something that it's not like an explosion. It's like something that you pull back, and I don't know, it takes you back in time. It's cool.
Absolutely.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So,
That just reminds me. So, I never had anybody get me into archery elk to say that, my dad or none of that. My dad never archery hunted. He's a good elk hunter, don't get me wrong, but they're rifle guys. But I was actually hound hunting, I remember vaguely, because my memory's not that good. But I was hunting probably around 13, 14 years old, something like that. And I'd been hunting longer than that, but we're hound hunting, and I'm hunting in the fall in September with the hounds, bear hunting. And I hear elk bugling. They're bugling. My dogs are barking down here, and elk are bugling at my dogs. Man, I wish they were that dumb still.
Yeah, they learned a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm talking to Dad. I'm like, man, that's cool, you know. And Dad had actually called in bulls. As a matter of fact, I said he never archery hunted. I think he did archery hunt 1 or 2 years actually. Now that I think about it. But anyways, Dad could bugle really good with his voice. And so I got to listen to that, and I got to practicing with my voice and stuff. So that night where we were bear hunting, I jump on the 4-wheeler here where I live, luckily, or 3-wheeler I should say back then. I had an old 1960 something, I don't know, 70s. It was an old 3-wheeler, and I can't believe my parents let me drive that. I'm still alive. Anyways, I took that up there where we were bear hunting, and I had my little sister with me, and I think maybe one of her friends or something, I can't remember. But we went up there, and I hauled them up there on the 3-wheeler. We walked out there where I heard the elk bugle, and I'm being real quiet, trying to spot an elk. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm a kid, you know. Well, next thing I know, my sister's peeing over here, and they're the friends, and they're talking loud, so I had to get them kind of quieted down. But anyways, I let out a bugle, and I had this big bull answer me, and we got a little closer and bugled, and I had this monster. I'll never forget it. Monster bull. I mean, it might have been at least at 13 years old or whatever it was, it looked huge. But I can tell you, it was like the bull behind us or something. You know, it was 340, 350, 360, somewhere right in there. It was big, and it come just running into us. And there's my little sister and a friend, and I'm like, holy cow, wow! And that kind of got me going on the archery elk thing. That really got me going, and then it took a few years. I started calling out. Then I remember hauling my mom up there, like, Mom, I called in a bull last night. It's so cool. This is before I decided I was going to archery hunt. I was still rifle hunting, but I remember one special time I took my mom up there, and I called this 4-point bull in, and he'd come from forever. You could see him, and he'd come all the way up and come right into our laps. I'm like, cool, I can do this. And then, you know, I don't want to ramble on too long, but then another one. After football practice, I was just getting into high school, so freshman, I think, and had my girlfriend, I think my sister, and it was grouse season. I actually took the dirt road home. I killed a grouse, and I'm like, I just heard a cow bugle after I shot the 22, or cow call, chirp, and so I bugled with my voice, and I mean, bam, a big bull answered me. My pickups turn around and straight stretch down the road, and there's my pickup sitting there. And I bugle, and this big old 6-point comes right into the road, turns, looks at me, looks back at my pickup, spins and runs. And I told myself I could have killed that with a bow, easy. And it's archery season. That's it, and that was it. I've been archery hunting every year since.
It's too bad it isn't like that anymore, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
they're a little harder. They're
a little more
these elk. They're hunted hard, so they're call smart. They're you know, the wolves have affected them, and there's just tons of people hunting now. You know, everybody loves it like us. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just it's different now. So anyway, so it's always been a tough one because I grew up. Before that, I was a houndsman. I still am. My passion is hounds. I absolutely love it. I have a kid. That's Cooper, my son. That's our 4th generation of this. I mean, I was meant to hound hunt. I absolutely love it, and I've dedicated my entire life, literally, the time and effort that I got, and it's paid off. I've got a good pack of dogs now. I catch a lot of game. I love it, but when it all boils down to it, I could have fun shooting ground squirrels out there.
Absolutely.
I just love
how many times have we done that?
Hanging out.
Yep.
And so it's all good, but
Time in the woods with family and friends, that's what it's all about to me.
it is.
Getting out here with friends and family and just enjoying it. You know, like I said, we just started this outdoor to the core filming thing, and wish we would have done it earlier. But I'm so glad we're doing it now, and I hope you guys are really enjoying them. because we're having a blast making them.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm constantly talking. Sorry.
He doesn't shut up.
I know. You can't hardly shut me up. But, so if you guys have any, if you watch this film and you have any ideas or things that you want to see out of us more, please let us know. Comment on it. You know, like I said, we keep saying we're new at this, so you know, anybody that subscribes to our channel, we appreciate it. We're not forcing any. We don't care if you do or not. Really, actually, we do care, but you don't have to. But we do appreciate it. We like to see followers. We like to see all this hard work people are enjoying. So
makes the guy feel good when you guys comment. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's just something
More
about
personal.
it. When they comment, it's more personal. I'm not trying to, force people into it. I'm just letting you know that it's. Don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to ask us stuff. Don't be afraid to tell us more of what you want to see.
Right.
That's what we're doing. We're here to make cool videos and have fun.
And there's been talk I know between the three of us about giving a hunt away. You know, I'm an outfitter, so we can do this legally. So, you know, I don't know if we hit 1,000 subscribers or something.
We had talked about that,
Yeah.
possibly, doing that and maybe just picking between the three of us who you want to hunt with,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
maybe multiple of us if time allows, with clients and everything like
Right.
that. But yeah, that'd be fun. I'd take about anybody and everybody out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And that's just me, and that's what's huge with me. I mean, and that's even in our videos. You see us pull the trigger, but it's not. We're all about hunting with people, family, friends, getting the youth out. A lot of our videos are youth. Just something. We don't have to pull the trigger. We love to hunt and we love to be in the woods. And if we can get somebody else to smile, it's
helping other people be successful.
That's-
There's
yeah.
nothing like
Yeah.
it.
there's nothing like it. Yep.
When I was 16, I went over to Montana and talked to my parents. Went over to Montana and was hoping to work for an outfitter over there. And guiding has always been in my blood. It's just who I am.
You're a natural born guy. That's
I don't know how good I am at it, but I enjoy it, and I'm thankful when people let me come ruin their hunt or whatever they want, and everything. So yeah, just helping other people be successful. It's that elk was fun, the mule deer was fun, but watching other people, especially their first time,
Absolutely.
it is.
It's
special.
a different. It's hard to explain,
It
but it is. It's amazing.
It was.
So
I remember that, and I've told Dave this story. Remember, and I won't go into super details, but remember I called that bull in for that guy, and he's like, "I shot a spike," and I was like, "What?"
I remember that.
I was like, "Was there a big bull bugling behind it or something?" Because this thing. But long story short, it had great big.
oh yeah,
bases,
yeah,
and it was a big mature, and the body was just huge. But that guy, when he killed, I think he'd been with like 2 or 3 other outfitters, and got skunked every time, and that's hunting. We've all been skunked.
Absolutely.
You guys watching us more times than I can tell you. But he'd been skunked. Well, I called this bull in, and when he killed it, I'll never forget. And my memory's not that great. I walked up to him. He was in tears. He was crying. He was so excited about this bull elk that he just killed that he was literally crying. I couldn't even hardly talk to him until he quit crying, And I thought, that just hit me. At first, I ain't gonna lie, at first I thought it was a little weird. There's a grown guy crying on me. But then it was so special.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that is, like Dave said, it's hard to explain. It really
It is. Like, a lot of people are gonna laugh at me, but man, just my son finally got out hunting this year, and I've been wanting this day for my whole life. In fact, I named him Hunter. But man, when he shot that turkey, and we got that on video, and oh my God, just to hear him walking down to that turkey, giggling, laughing. I mean, he was
Turn up the volume, it's
so
good.
Yeah.
he was so excited and he couldn't like even control himself. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that right there is what life is about. I mean, that right there is
That's awesome.
what it was all about. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a turkey. Most people look at us like it's a stupid turkey.
Hey,
No, it was
It's another season.
incredible, incredible. You know.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I laughed and giggled and enjoyed when I watched that.
Yeah.
I could hear old Hunter. I knew he was excited. I could hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so
Yeah.
anyways.
We should have some good hunts coming up. My wife drew the year before last it was a 4% chance, and last year it was a 3% chance. I don't know what it was this year. They won't come out and say the draw odds. I've been checking every day. But anyway, she drew a extremely coveted antelope rifle tag for Idaho here, and I'm looking forward to that hunt. We probably have a lot of applications in for these hunts and have never been drawn. This is the first time. So antelope being my favorite critter, not necessarily with a rifle, but I'm looking forward to that hunt if it works out. And
I'm excited to watch it.
Heck yeah, I'm
really
really
looking
too.
forward to that hunt. So there should be some fun ones.
Oh, yeah,
You guys are
absolutely.
doing couple weeks of archery?
A
Yeah.
week. Well, you'll
Well,
probably-
I'm taking 2. I'm gonna go film for Bradley 1 week, and if we're lucky enough to get one, then we'll come down here and try to get one for me. But then I'm gonna take the next week and film for Minif.
Yep.
Nice.
I might get a shoot. We'll see. Who knows? seems to go that way a lot for me lately.
Yeah.
You know, with Bradley not hunting, so I'm
Usually the caller.
always and they're not usually anything about it. It's always. I think I'm gonna start buying these Elk 101 tips for these guys and give it to them for Christmas.
Let me know how that works out.
Yeah, give it to them for Christmas and see if they can do hunting videos. No, I don't. I honestly don't care to be. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to pull a trigger, but I really actually don't care.
We see that in you for sure.
I
You're all
don't
about it.
care. I love to be out there
That's
calling.
special.
Yeah.
That is special. Yeah. We're not greedy in that. In none of us. So.
We should have some good hunts, and then the clients show up, and then after that, we should have some. We might be able to film some of those hunts too.
Yeah. Yeah. You know. I feel I played with it with that. So when me and Dave are guiding, we don't want to do anything to mess up one of our clients' elk hunt. So we've been kind of not really doing too much video and on the guided hunts. I did a few lion hunts that were guided, but
Good.
we might play with it and obviously talk to
It's up to the clients.
the clients before we do it, and because I know last year there were several hunts that we killed bull elk and never even had our cameras. So
Yeah, and there's also a lot of hunts that, public ground, we don't have a lot of time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all about first thing in the morning and the last thing,
Yeah.
right before dark. And so we don't want, them to miss out on an opportunity.
because we're fiddling.
We're fiddling around with camera equipment. So it's a hard line, it's up to them. And when it comes down to it, I'll put the camera on the ground and help them. They came over here, they're coming here to hunt.
Yeah.
And so as much as it'd be fun to get it on film for them too and everything, there's still the priority of trying to get the elk down. Sometimes we have plenty of time to set up.
Yep.
Sometimes we don't.
So if you guys are wondering what we're meaning guiding and stuff, Bradley here, he does own Idaho Whitetail Guides, and very, very successful. And I'm so thankful, like just doing this business, I'm an electrician, David's concrete guy. We're pretty lucky to have Bradley in this deal with us. I mean, he's always hunting, and I don't mean summertime, I mean always hunting.
I'm trying to work towards that in my job too.
one of these days, hopefully, we'll be there. But yeah, so yeah, I'm very, very fortunate, that doing this with Bradley, where he owns Idaho Whitetail Guides. Like I said, a very, very successful company, and yeah, pretty lucky on that deal for us.
Well, thank you. Does he want something?
Okay, you'll find out later.
No, I appreciate that. I'm the older I get, the more I just cherish my friends and these guys are friends. And, special to me. And I'm glad to be a part of this with them.
Yeah.